It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations, exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. What you wear is important. It should be fun, creative, and expressive of your own personality. At Grady Gear Company, we believe that clothing is more than just fabric and threads. It's a form of self-expression and a way to stand out from the crowd. Grady Gear is more than just a clothing brand. We're a community. We're here to inspire and motivate you to embrace your true self. We are a locally owned small business who do custom clothing orders too. Find us at GradyGearCompany.com.
With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Clear tonight with a low of 64, then warm sunshine on Saturday with a high of 88. For more than 40 years, the Great Wall Restaurant has been serving up Szechuan and Mandarin favorites. The Great Wall is located just north of 50th in France on the Minneapolis-Edina City line. Check them out at greatwallrestaurant.us.
Portions of the following program may be pre-recorded.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host, guest, random reptoid, or chupacabra may not necessarily reflect those of AM 950 Radio, its affiliates, or its sponsors. Now, it's time to step into the unknown. There are things people experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in the corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us. Share your story, share your experience, because this isn't just your story. This is our story. This is GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakken.
And this is GhostBox Radio on AM 950, where every night we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, and so much more. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's Casual Friday. What can I say? This is a lot of fun. My one of my favorite days of the week. And just want to remind everybody, we can talk about whatever we want to talk about tonight. So we have some stuff planned, but if there's something on your mind that you want to share, give us a call, 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205, and go ahead and put it in the comments as well if you're watching us on one of our Facebook streams. So I just want to quickly say this is hour 4 of me talking straight, nonstop. I was very happy to be asked to be on another Facebook Live starting at 6 tonight over on Paralanx, which is a Facebook network. You can go find them, Paralanx. And we're actually one of the networks that we're streaming from now. I did a show called Getting to Know, and it was about me tonight, one of my favorite subjects. So we were able to find out over 3 hours, not a whole lot. And so that was really what really was pretty exciting. If you have a chance, I have it on my page. I put it there. If you have nothing to do for 3 hours, you can go and listen. The hosts, Emmy and Sydney, they're great. But it was a lot of fun. We played some Spirit Box recordings. We talked a lot about the paranormal field. And so we did very well. It was a lot of fun. Emmy, who is actually in the comments tonight listening, thank you very much. It's good to see you. Thank you for having me on your program. Meanwhile, over in Eden Prairie, we have the man who is having to try to find his own way to get a microphone to work over there. We have Adam, and that was, there we are.
That was an adventure this evening.
Yeah, well, it's like build your own radio station when you get.
It really is. It's like the Lincoln Logs of radio. It's amazing. So, if you've got a little bit of ADD and then want to go perform on a station, come work for 950.
Well, and it's like Fisher Price, my first radio station, and
I'm dealing with Fisher Price stuff. You're doing the Greg Bakken Memorial Day, marathon like
oh
you're
my god,
Jerry Lewis.
yeah,
There's no
I don't
reason
know.
you're just talking about yourself.
There were people who I think were just like, seriously, when's he going to go? I think that was. It's like he's not the only one on the show tonight, is he? And sadly, I was.
He is
Sadly, I
now.
was. Yeah, because I won't let anyone else on. So it was pretty crazy. 952-946-6205. If you want to call in or if you have something to say in the comments, you're more than welcome to do so. When you sent me the text when I was on the other show, and you're like, I don't have a microphone.
Mhm.
And I just like, well, okay, we'll figure it out. And then it took me a few minutes to be like, that means, first of all, you're not going to be able to say anything, which, it's a silent pleasure on my end. But
That's fine. My idol is Silent Bob, so it works just fine.
and then I'm like, I have just been talking for 3 hours. No, it hasn't been. It's like 3.5 hours. And you can't talk. I'm barely getting words out that make any sort of sense. So this is going to be amazing. I was very relieved when you're like, nope, I got it figured out. We're good. Oh my goodness. I
It was
mean,
about to be the knell of the, paranormal radio shows.
oh my gosh.
Why
I mean,
ain't you talking?
right. It's like, it's if you're psychic, you'll be able to pick it up. If not, you're not going to get anything out of tonight's show. So yeah, it was pretty crazy. And I'm glad that you got it figured out, but that's what you do. You figure things out, Adam. You're really good at that.
I attempt to. It takes about 4 tries, but you know what they say, failure is practice for perfection.
Well, I wonder if it was a test. Can Adam? It was Brett. Like, can Adam put a radio station together in 15 minutes? And you seem to have passed. I can hear you.
It's almost like we're IKEA because you get to the very end and then that little bag of stuff that you need is missing.
Well, well, and I mean, we really don't know if we're on the air, quite frankly. But I mean, there's.
Let me check my phone. Brett will let me know, or Chad, one or the other. They'll be like, "You didn't flip the key, did you?"
I was gonna like, do you flip the key? I mean, I did hear the radio station, so yeah, it's. I'm
checking to make sure I hit record. Yes, I hit record.
I'm 75% certain that we're on the air right now, so that's good.
75 is better than the usual percentage I think I'm doing.
So there we go. We're doing well now. As I mentioned to you prior to the show starting, I was like almost like a proud dad when I was explaining to them that I was, that an event that I helped put together was where you got your first EVP. And it's kind of like like a proud dad moment. Like, and then Adam got his first EVP, and they're just like, why don't we have Adam on instead of you? That's. But I mean, I didn't really pay any attention to that sort of nonsense.
That's when you're like, because he's Dick Grayson, I'm Bruce Wayne. You only talk to me.
like, I'll shut you all down is what I'll do. No, but it was really cool because it's like, it's like we were talking about the fact that for some of us who've been doing this for so long, it's nice to be able to step back and bring people in to be able to do their investigation and figure stuff out for themselves. It's not like one of those para-celebrity investigations where everybody is just like, ooh, what's this person doing? We want to see them in action. I want you all to be able to experience the cool stuff like I did, like the first time that I was able to get my EVPs and stuff. So I just remember how excited you were when you got what you were looking for.
Yeah, and going back to like the paraceleb thing, I haven't done one. I've know people who have, and what they have told me about some of those, as opposed to what you and Shar do for your events, I definitely would recommend going to Shar and Greg's websites and seeing their next events and their classes because they do. Don't get me wrong, you're gonna have somebody down there with you who knows what they're doing, but at the same time, they are very hands off. And you get to figure it out instead of it being very didactic, which Greg and Shar are not. So
we
definitely pick that
try
up.
to be. Yeah, we try to make it work for everything. Make sure that people are having a good time. So I'm laughing because once again at the show we just did, there's a friend of ours who have called in here a couple times. His name is Greg. I like the name, Greg Koss. And I noted to them because they got a message from him during their show, and they're just talking with him on his, like, he sent a side message. And I said, every time I do a spirit box session on Facebook, he reaches out to me during the spirit box session, like when I'm actually live doing it, to ask me a question that I don't know what it is. Well, we're doing the show now, and there he is. He's just sent me a message as Greg, doing a show. It goes to show that no one cares what I'm doing. But
Or maybe he
yeah.
just has like ESP and knows when you're on, and maybe you're just like, hey, call in. We'll put you on.
Yeah, calling in. Say hello. 952-946-6205. And yeah, I mean, it's we're in August already. I mean, has this been a fast summer for you, or has this thing been going at a good rate?
You know, it's been going at a fine rate for me, because I can't stand the winter, yet we live in Minnesota.
Yeah.
So I appreciate every day of summer, and even when it's been hot like it has been, you're not going to hear me complain about it, because I complain 8 months out of the year when there's snow on the ground here.
Oh, totally. Oh, totally. I mean, I much rather walk outside and start on fire than
Mhm.
walk outside and become a ice cube. I just really, I don't like snow. I never have. I'm fine with the cold weather personally. I'll wear
Mhm.
shorts throughout the year. I just don't like the snow, like, and the roads and stuff. I just want to drive safely. I don't want to have to deal with snowstorms. Once it all lands and once it's all shoveled, I really don't care. It's not a big deal to me. It's not my favorite. Much rather be in spring and summer, but yeah, it's not that big of a deal.
No, it's the snow and the ice on the roads that I cannot stand.
Well, you and I are very similar in that, where we don't like it. We don't like driving, and neither of us like being with someone in the car who you could tell is not very comfortable. And there was that one drive I drove you back from the station one
Mhm.
night, and it was just it wasn't bad, but for me, I'm not very good in it. I'm not very confident in it.
Mhm.
And it was a little slippery, and we just didn't talk the whole time because I think you could probably tell I'm focusing on the road. I'm not too thrilled with any of this. And yeah, once we're on 94 going, it's okay, but I'm also worried about taking the exits, because it's like you're going faster and then you're slowing down to take the exits, and
Mhm.
you got someone with you. You don't want them to get in, like, you don't want to get in an accident, but you don't want to get them in an accident. So yeah, it's yeah, you felt it. You felt it that night, I'm sure. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure. But then, I think back to a time my wife and I were driving back from Indiana back to up here, and we get into Illinois, and it's what Illinois would consider a blizzard, but what a Minnesotan like my wife does not. And she's just like plowing through, going 60. We have, there are cars off the side of the road. There are people who have literally pulled over and started putting snow tires on the highway. And Danny's just booking at like 60, 70 miles an hour. It's like, bye, suckers.
wow,
And it's like,
wow.
wow, no one I grew up with would have even thought about doing that in southern Indiana.
No. I mean, nor would I, to be very honest. I would have been like, let's get a hotel room.
Yeah,
So
that was I literally said that. It's like, "Hey, you know what? We can both call in to work tomorrow. Who cares? Let's find somewhere to stop." She's like, "No, we're making good time." I'm like, "'Cause we're the only ones moving."
that's funny. Hold on a second. Greg sent me something else. He totally oblivious to my life at the moment. So
We're
that's
gonna take a
fine.
time out to answer Greg. We're good.
We'll just hold on. We'll just who doesn't like dead air? I mean, that's fine. So no, I remember driving back from Florida with my ex-wife, and my ex-wife, let's put it bluntly, if there was space, she would put something in it. That's just kind of
Ah,
how she operated. And so she was actually gone for a while, and I had to go down, pick her up, and drive her. I mean, like, we're talking months. She was working down at I think the new Louisiana Renaissance Festival or something like that, and then
mhm.
ended up in Florida at her grandma's. And she had acquired um a lot of stuff for
As
just
one
2
would
months.
do. Yeah.
And so we had to pack the car, to, because she wouldn't get rid of any of it. We had to put her in the front seat on the passenger side, and then fill more stuff on top of her, So that then, it's just that. So when we're driving back, which, I mean, this was amazing. So every time we had to stop and unload the stuff on top of her to get her out. In Illinois, we ran into a big blizzard.
Mhm.
And she's just like, oh, we can just keep going. And I had a Pontiac Grand Am.
Ooh.
And I'm just like, we are in a death mobile, let
Mhm.
alone the fact that it's filled as if there are no people in it. It's just this ridiculous amount of stuff. And I just was like, this is madness. So I forced her to stop because I just could foresee nothing but tragedy in our future. And it's, your situation driving through is different than ours because, Danielle knew what she was doing. I'm not great at this. And we are filled with all of this stupid stuff. Some of it is sharp.
Oh.
And I was like, no, we're not doing this. So yeah, we ended up stopping and she wasn't happy about it, but I felt great. Like, yeah, I'm not doing this. This is ridiculous.
Well, hopefully she isn't like my wife, and when she goes to Renfest and buys swords, that I'm gonna sit here with the sword on top of me while we drive, because my wife bought a legit sword
Oh yeah.
last year at Renfest, and I know she's saved up money to buy another legit sword at this year's Renfest.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, like I said, there's some sharp things in there, and it was like, and it's like, yeah, fine, do what you need to do, but we cannot. This is dangerous. This is bad, and it just
Mhm.
like, I mean, if I have to pile stuff onto you just so that we can get everything that you've accumulated into, because I mean, obviously that meant that the trunk was filled, the
Mhm.
back seat was filled, where you couldn't really see out. I had to use mirrors to see, and I think I only had one mirror because you couldn't see out the passenger side mirror. I mean, this thing was
Oh,
nasty. This was horrible. This was a death trap. And but she didn't think twice about it. She's just like, we just do it. I mean, we actually got a bunch of her grandma in her backyard had an orange tree, and
mhm.
so we just plucked all the oranges off. And I remember we had to put that in as well, and we shut the door, and like 3 oranges like were crushed and they squirted out all over the place. I mean, it's like, this was like, what were we doing? And it's like there was nothing I could do about it except drive this, marshmallow mobile was full of stuff. It was horrible.
And you probably didn't think, well, maybe small U-Haul next time.
I was thinking grander plans, actually. I was thinking divorce.
Yeah, well, well, you might need a U-Haul for that too.
that was where my mind was going. It's like, I think I've had enough now, because this isn't like a one-off. And
Cool.
thinking, no, this is where I think this adventure is going to go next. So yeah. Anyway.
I would like off this ride, please.
This was never fun. It's funny. It's nice to be able to laugh about it all now. Question of the week: what is the most intriguing or eerie urban legend you've heard, and do you believe there's any truth to it? That is the question that we're asking. We're going to be getting to in the second segment here. Feel free to call in if you have experience or you want to talk about it. 952-946-6205, or you can put it in the comments. We're going to take our first break. When we come back, question of the week and anything else on your mind. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
We know you value buying local, especially when it comes to your magical supplies. So if you're looking for grimoires, decks, jewelry, candles, or herbs that are locally sourced, then come on down to Magus Books and Herbs. Curated for your ritual, ceremonial, spiritual, and spellwork needs, we've got all the tools to make your working extra. So make that prosperity ritual one that keeps on giving by visiting us at 1848 Central Avenue Northeast in Minneapolis, or visit us online at magusbooks.com.
Gritty Gear Company is a great place to go for clothing that is fun and expressive. But did you know we also do custom orders on demand? We've worked with all types of companies and organizations, from first responders to even a certain radio station. Our team is here to help you look amazing. Our clothing is of the highest quality, and you will love your logo on the finished product. We are a locally owned small business who simply wants you to look great. Find out more at grittygearcompany.com. Are you one of thousands of individuals who know you have psychic abilities but don't know how to tap into your higher self? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who offers classes that can help you reach your goals. Refined Divine holds classes Monday and Thursday at her 2 locations and via Zoom. Classes consist of manifestation, learning psychic abilities, shadow work, and healing trauma. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
This is Psychic Medium Deb. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
If you own a holistic or metaphysical business and are looking to expand, then you need to be listed on metamorphosisconnections.com. It's a network where you can grow with like-minded practitioners and reach new clients. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory you need to list yourself and your business. Our platform makes it easy for you to create listings of your products and services, and you can also choose to list your classes, events, and so much more. Metamorphosisconnections.com helps you create weekly and monthly promotional ads targeted towards your potential clients and promotes them for you via social media and newsletter. There are clients searching for your specialty right now. Let us help them find you. Start your listing today so you can share your own unique gifts and talents by finding the level of membership that best fits your needs. Let us help you reach your clients that are searching for what you do. Visit metamorphosisconnections.com and sign up today.
And welcome back to GhostBox Radio on AM 950. My name is Greg Bakken. Thank you for joining us. It is Casual Friday, so thank you all very much for joining us about this ever so wonderful day. The point of Casual Friday, as you all know, is that we ease into the weekend. If there's anything you want to talk about, any paranormal thoughts on your mind or anything that you just want to kind of get out there, please let me know. Call us 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. We are not scary people. Well, I'm not. So there is that coming. You disagree with that, Adam? I saw a smirk on your face over there, and
Oh, I thought you were going to make some sort of, comment, we're not scary other than the Wookiee in Eden Prairie.
yeah.
See, and this is why I'm glad the Patterson video came out before May of 1977. Because if the original Bigfoot video came out after Star Wars was released, it wouldn't be called Bigfoot. We'd be calling them Wookiees.
Right, absolutely, 100%. Okay, here's the deal. First of all, you just celebrated a birthday.
Yes, I did. I'm the big 4-4 now.
Happy birthday. That's fantastic.
I'm officially middle-aged.
No. Let's none of that talk. None of that talk. So did you do anything fun on your birthday, or because let's see, what day was that? That was
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
We were on Wednesday. I didn't bring it up at all. So I'm glad I remembered.
Don't worry about that. We had a wonderful guest on Wednesday. Please go back and peep that out if you folks haven't. We had Brandon Alvis from Haunted Discoveries on Haunt TV.
Yep.
That was such a wonderful, wonderful interview. His new season is starting soon, but go back and listen to that. That was a fantastic interview. But no, on Tuesday, there is one thing that was actually kind of neat on Tuesday. I got to spend it with my wife and my daughter, which was absolutely fantastic. And then my nephew and his friend had come over to stay the night because Wednesday they finally ripped up all the carpet out of my basement and I can officially start moving stuff down to the basement. So it ended up being a great birthday because of that.
I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah, that was great. And yeah, Brandon Elvis. And I'll tell you, I make shorts out of every, at the end of each show, I do like a minute short that's for social. Mm-hmm. I posted that. There's one short I posted. Brandon saw it. He's like, can I get a copy of that short? And I did, and he did it. And that thing for GhostBox Radio was the most viral thing ever that we have done. It was pretty incredible to see. And that was the bit when Brandon was talking about the humanity, that the paranormal field has lost humanity in it. And that was really pretty cool. Just so you know, I'm sure people care. Greg sent me another message while I'm on the air here. Hey, Greg, do you want to start off the season with When Spirit Connects at 9 p.m. on this coming Wednesday? So, Greg, you keep sending me stuff. I'm going to read it on the air tonight. I'm in that kind of mood. So,
unfortunately, I don't think, because we've got Refined Divine on next Wednesday.
We sure do. We sure do, and that's always exciting. That's going to be a lot of fun. I've been getting a lot of feedback about her being on the show lately, actually, and it's been a lot of fun to hear. People are just really excited to hear what she has to say, and people really love what they get when they call in. So, folks, once again, next Wednesday, you can listen to Refined Divine Psychic Medium 1-question readings. You can call in. That's the easiest. And what I like about when Deb does it, she's okay with channeling and bringing through spirits that have passed for these 1-question readings. A lot don't, and I understand, but she's just like, no, whatever you want to talk about, tell me about it. As long as it's 1 question, we'll do it. And I think that works out really well. So
I'm just glad there isn't a camera in here when she's on, because when she channels, anything can come out of her mouth, and I'm usually like this.
Yep. Nope, that's
with my finger on the dump button the entire time, or when Ernie Pack calls in.
Yeah, well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
We said his name, he's going to call. Damn it!
And we didn't say it 3 times. Luckily,
True.
So I mean, just like, oh god. So yeah, no, it's it's really. I'll tell you something else that I thought was really cool too. Was last night we did Myth or Mystery, and that went over very well. But all of a sudden, a comment pops up because Miriam's doing all the comments, and it says hello, and it's from Native Roots Radio.
Oh, nice.
That was really nice. Thank you to them. I'm assuming it was Robert who was listening, or I don't know, maybe he just came on and just to say hello and then he left. I don't know if he watched any, but that's still, it was very nice to see them join. So that was a lot of fun. So
and also one other positive thing that happened this week, also on Tuesday, when I was walking home from work, I happened to have worn our new AM 950 shirts to work that day. And as I'm walking home, I get up to 54th and Winnetka, and there is a bus stop right there. And I had to brag about you. There was somebody sitting at the bus stop, and they're like, "Oh, you work for 950. I like the new shirts." I'm like, "Yeah, believe it or not, the guy from the Paranormal show, Greg Bakken, is the one who made the nice design, and they're from Gritty Gear, who also happens to be a sponsor." So while I'm waiting on traffic to go by, and this gentleman is waiting for his bus, we sat here and talked about the show for about 3 or 4 minutes before I could get across the street and his bus showed up.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you for that. And you're right, Gritty Gear, not to turn this into wall-to-wall commercials, but yeah, I mean, Gritty Gear, we didn't give them any time to make those. We had a design and they just went crazy, and they did a great job, and that's what they do. And not to turn this into commercial, but if you need some custom shirts made, do it. That's where we're going to get all the GhostBox gear, that we're going to do t-shirts for GhostBox Radio. Who knows what else? We have a meeting set up with Nicole next week to talk about it. Long overdue. We want to have stuff for people to wear and support, and we want to deck out Adam, because Adam always likes to wear stuff that supports the stuff that he loves. So we got to make sure we got plenty for Adam here as well.
Oh, for sure. And I'll probably even have to buy it, but that's beside the point.
I don't think so. That's not my plan. My plan isn't to make you buy something heavily marked up. No. Here, I got a shirt for you, Adam. It's only $70.
No, ooh. I appreciate this stuff. Here you go. I'm like the fried Jeff. Yeah, you take my money.
All right. So for folks, you have an answer for the question of the week. Here, I'm going back to Facebook. I have to remove all the messages Greg Koss has sent me. Let's see. Question of the week. You can weigh in if you like on either the comments or give us a call, 952-946-6205. Question of the week. Not as contentious as last week. Let's start with that. That was wow.
Well, yeah, last week was just a massive wow.
People were you ask a question, they answered. Let's put it that way. So people are still answering. I'm getting notifications on Facebook like, oh, someone posted answered your question. That's what it is always. Someone answer your question. I'm like, oh, cool. What is it? I'm thinking about today's question. It's like, no, we're still talking about if we landed on the moon, if the moon landing was real or not. So that we're done with that, folks. You don't need to answer that anymore. We get it. We get it. You didn't like that question. So, all right. Question tonight. What is the most intriguing or eerie urban legend you've heard, and do you believe there's any truth to it? So first of all, why don't we do this? If phone's not ringing or anything, why don't you Adam, why don't you tell us your thoughts?
All right. Mine was when I was a kid, we had what was in Martin County, Indiana, near Martinsville. Um, there is this cemetery, and I think it's Dale Hill Cemetery, if I remember. I know I put it into my answer, but I don't remember the name of the cemetery now off my head. In fact, I had to Google which cemetery it was, but I remember the story of the vanishing hitchhiker. It was a younger lady, and she would be standing outside of front one of these cemeteries in Martin County, hitchhiking, and she'd be like, "I have a broken down car or whatnot." You would supposedly she would get in your passenger seat, and once you got a few blocks away from the cemetery, she would vanish out of your
Mm,
passenger seat.
yeah.
It almost feels like a lot of rural areas kind of have that vanishing hitchhiker story.
Yes.
But when I was a kid, to me, that was the eeriest thing that, you've got somebody, you're trying to be a good Samaritan, and then she vanishes. Granted, though, there are other urban legends I've read where it's much worse than them vanishing out of the passenger seat. But to me, that was always eerie and always made me cautious whenever we'd roll by a cemetery if anybody was standing outside, no matter if it was middle of the day, middle of the night, whether it be in Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, wherever, always kind of weirded me out. So that's still it creeps me out more than anything.
And in your comment, you said Dover Hill Cemetery, Martin
Thank you.
County, Indiana. It's interesting. You're right. There are people who have a lot of like the hitchhiker stories, and I want to kind of look something up here real fast because there's something I want to talk about. See if it shows up here.
But then again, the vanishing hitchhiker in Indiana is much nicer than some of the Skinwalker urban legends too, where you'll pick up a hitchhiker on the side of the road and their bottom half will be, like an animal, and then they possess you or something.
And you bring up a good point. There's this kind of this moment where paranormal and urban legends they converge, right? Because when you talk about that vanishing hitchhiker, there's also like the story of the woman on the bench, the ghost woman on the bench from Bachelor's Grove Cemetery in Chicago.
Mhm.
Someone took a picture of that like in the early 90s of this woman on a cemetery bench, and that she is famous for being out there. But you know, is that a paranormal thing, or is that an urban legend? Do those lines blur at all with that?
And with urban legends, like with most things, I'm sure there's a grain of truth in most urban legends. I would say really in all urban legends.
Hmm.
So to be honest with you, with that one, I wouldn't be shocked if it is some sort of like residual haunt
Oh yeah.
where she will appear when certain times, certain somethings trigger whatever's in that area to play back that moment in time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And like I said, there's that picture of the woman. There is a picture of her, and I'll see if I can find it. But I believe it's real. I mean, I'm a sucker for that sort of thing generally anyway. But I
Mhm.
mean, it doesn't necessarily mean it is real. So that does, to me, that takes it back to the urban legend
Yeah.
side of things opposed to paranormal. But you have a lot of people who are saying that they have seen it. Now, just to make sure that and that I am, so people know that I am malevolent. No, I'm benevolent. Sorry.
Well,
Ooh.
we know you're
Yeah, well, I mean, maybe I was right the first time.
Freudian slip.
People are saying happy birthday to you in the comments.
Oh, well, thank you,
I just
everyone.
want to make sure that you see that. So that is definitely under control there. So and Emily, I've been meaning to reach out to you. I will do so afterwards. I've been thinking about that. And so you can tell after being on the air for like 65 hours that I'm, kind of my train of thought is going all over the place.
I'm telling you, you're the Jerry Lewis of paranormal.
Except not interesting.
And
Well,
neither
that
was
depends on which side you're talking about. Absolutely. All right, so let's see what other folks had to say about this. Let's see here. Let's once again get past the Greg Koss messages. They just seem to keep popping up. Let's see here. This is really good on the air fodder here. All right,
Oh,
so
it's fantastic.
Jim says, funny enough, Jim says, I'm not sure there's truth to it, but my favorite has always been the vanishing hitchhiker.
There you go. I swear every place has a story similar to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And because he doesn't give a location, so it's not impossible to believe that it could be your location, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, it's not impossible, but yeah, it's really interesting. And when he wrote that, I wasn't sure what he was talking about. When you explained it, I'm like, okay, I know exactly what Adam is talking about. I know what that is. And once again, folks, the question is, what is the most intriguing or eerie urban legend you've heard? And do you believe there's any truth to it? Austin says, I love the Wendigo, but I don't believe in it. Such cool lore behind them. It's interesting because I am not in a place to not believe something is real. I mean, I do have my opinions. Like, I don't believe Loch Ness Monster is real. That's just my personal opinion on it. But something like Wendigo, which is such a strong belief system in the Native American community, I don't think I'm qualified to not believe, if that makes sense.
Yeah, or like puck wedgies. That's
What's that?
huge in the Native American community, at least, down where I grew up. We had puck wedgies there. And, that has built into an urban legend as well.
Right.
So I get it. Like the Loch Ness Monster. Yeah. I mean, that's a tourist trap.
It is. And I don't doubt that something had existed years and years and years and years and years ago. Like we're talking hundreds of years ago, but I don't feel that that is anything that is always the case. Beth says, and there's other comments, folks. I'll get to yours definitely because you're having some good conversations here. Beth says that there seems to be the lady in white all over too.
Yeah.
Isn't that the truth?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's 100. I agree with that 100%. And normally, that and not to do it without any sort of compassion, but normally, like the story goes, it's a lady in white who was scorned by a lover or a husband or a lover that never showed up, that never returned, and that they jumped off of a bridge or jumped off of the top of a building or something.
The left at the altar or left at the widow's war for whatever. Oh yeah.
Totally. 100%. There's always a tragic story with a woman in white or something of that sort of nature. And that was that's I mean, that's a very good point, Beth. That's a really good point. There's a why can't I think of the name of it, because I've been talking for hours, I guess, but there's a theater out in Menominee, a very old theater, and they have a woman in white that they see a lot, and there's a picture of her that they have in the not the lobby, but in their ticket area and stuff. And it's just like this picture of this bright light on the stairs, and it's like that's her picture.
Yeah.
And I was just gonna say, and I don't think they like me there very much anymore. Within 5 minutes, I debunked it, and I recreated it for them. Absolutely, and they're just like, "Thank you." And it was just, I mean, we're just having a regular conversation with them about it. No one else was around, but I just like, oh, I see how this was done. And I shut some doors, and I had put the person right where the camera would have taken the picture and stuff. And she's like, yeah.
Yes, thank you for your time. Goodbye,
Yep,
sir.
yep. No need to ever come back, sir. Oh, it's the Mabel Tainter. Yes, it is. Oh, you would, of course, know, Emily. You're out in that area. Now that I outed them. If you see a picture in their ticket area of this bright light on the stairs, just know that it possibly may not be what they think it is, but it's, that's not for me to say. Why don't we do this? We got a lot of comments. First of all, thank you very much. Keep putting them in. We need to take a break though. When we come back, let's get to the comments. Let's get to some more answers to our question of the week. And it's Casual Friday, so let's do some fun. You're listening to GhostBox Radio on AM 950.
Reach your highest level of consciousness and well-being with metamorphosisconnections.com. Metamorphosisconnections.com is an online directory of the best holistic and metaphysical practitioners to help you make your most informed choices. You can search metamorphosisconnections.com for classes, events, wellness and life coaches, plus metaphysical products and shops. You can also search for a wide array of healers from all modalities, including EFT, sound healing, energy healing, light therapy, ancestral healing, shamanic healing, reflexology, past life regressions, hypnotherapy, yoga, and more. And if you're not sure where to start, the search feature on metamorphosisconnections.com is tailored to help both those who know what they are looking for and those who are just starting. Come explore the possibilities for your higher self by visiting metamorphosisconnections.com. Their experienced practitioners can guide both beginners and those that are already on their spiritual journey. That's metamorphosisconnection.com, your link to direct you on your spiritual transformation.
Have you ever met someone who not only can help you on a deep spiritual level, but also potentially change your life? Refined Divine is an extremely gifted psychic medium who travels the nation and lives right here in the Midwest. And she offers mediumship, mentorship, house and business parties, energy healing, palm readings, and so much more. Refined Divine has helped thousands, and she can help you.
Hi, this is Psychic Medium Deb. I cannot wait to hear from you. You can go to refineddivinepsychic.com.
Greg Bakken here. I love historic tours of Minneapolis and seeing everything it has to offer. But if you know me, I like to include a little spooky in my tours, which is why I found the perfect combination. Minneapolis Trolley Tours does this amazing candlelight ghost tour that you have to check out. It's an extremely immersive experience. It's a trolley trip that starts out at a haunted mansion, traveling around Minneapolis locations exposing ghost stories that the public and business owners would rather left untold. Then a tour of the aforementioned haunted mansion where ghosts of past residents from the 1800s reside, plus a lot of surprises to discover. Next, experience Gertrude's After Hours. Did I mention Gertrude is the mansion's most famous ghost? Maybe she'll show up. And you finish up the tour at Gertrude's Lounge in the haunted basement of the mansion with refreshments and Q&A. The trolleys are climate controlled and the mansion is restored to perfection. Check out MinneapolisTrolleyTours.com for more information. And join us on Monday on GhostBox Radio with Greg Bakken. We're going to have author Tim Rayborn join us again. Tim has been on a number of times, and his books are really, really cool. And his newest one, which is actually just come out it's coming out next week, Walk Amongst the Gods. That is going to be a fantastic conversation. I got the book already, and it is truly, really a pretty cool looking book, and I cannot wait to talk with him about it. I also just wanted to say real fast, first of all, you guys are really killing it in the comments tonight. There's a lot of activity in there, and thank you very much. That's a lot of fun. It makes it so much more fun when we do these Friday shows and we get a lot of people who are involved as well. Not that I'm saying anything against Adam. It's always fun to talk to Adam as well, but a little bit of other people isn't too bad, is it, Adam?
No, I absolutely love the interaction with the listeners. I think it's a blast.
And you all can call in 952-946-6205, 952-946-6205. We are going to be talking more about our question of the week. Let me see where we left off here, because some folks are putting in their urban legends that they find very fascinating. Solitary Spectre Hunter says Slender Man. Absolutely.
Yeah, that one is creepy. Slender Man is creepy.
What about, is this your favorite, Jersey Devil?
I do dig the Jersey Devil, the 13th son of Mrs. Leeds. I absolutely dig that legend.
Absolutely. Let's see here. What else do we got here?
Fresno Nightcrawler is in the chat.
Fresno
and we have a phone call. Hold on.
Oh my goodness, look at that. Well, I'll let you do that. Emily says, does Mothman count? Mothman counts, absolutely. She says he's my favorite besides Bigfoot. Let's see here, and let's see, I'm going through this. Joshua says you can only experience what you experience. That's fair. That is always very true. But Danielle says skinwalkers are really creepy to me. I think something had to start that legend. Absolutely. That goes back quite a ways. Folks, if you're interested, I did an episode with Cheryl Lynn Carter about the Skinwalker Ranch, and we talked about that. So we're going that route. Now we got Nancy on the phone calling in, proving to you all it's not scary to do so, but we'll see how the evening goes here. Nancy, welcome to GhostBox Radio. How are you doing?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So what is on your paranormal mind tonight?
First of all, my neighbors are probably not that thrilled with you because when I listen to your show, I'm outside in my backyard on a speaker.
Well, I am.
Your voice is what they go to bed with every night.
You make that sound bad. I mean, here's the thing. I've just in the last program that I know that you were watching, they said that my voice was very soothing. So I figure that you're actually doing them a favor. Yeah. No.
Yeah, they both have like a little child, and I'm sure that you are putting that child to sleep every night, and I'm sure they love it.
I'm putting their child to sleep as well as thousands of other listeners. So it's working out very well. I mean, sometimes we have to prod Adam to wake up when I'm doing the show. Like he's just like, whoa, where am I? How did I get here?
A glass of warm milk and some Greg. Time to sleep.
Exactly. Let's listen to someone.
You know what? I know exactly what you're saying. My girlfriend used to call me to put her to sleep when I'd be talking just like slow and going, oh, and here's my day. And you'd hear deep breathing at the other end. Yeah.
Well, I hope I'm not doing. Hopefully, that's not the service I'm offering over here, where it's just a lot of deep breathing. And welcome to GhostBox Radio.
I don't know about that.
I don't want to know about that. I think that's more important. What else is on your mind?
Is shadow figures are they're like peaky shadow figures, the ones that go peek and then duck back, and you wonder if you saw them.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Those.
Yeah.
Are like the creepiest thing on the planet to me, anyway. I don't know. You can get Bigfoot running across the street, but you get a shadow figure like peeking around the corner. I'm totally creeped out.
That's a very good call out, because there are those that they're just like they peek around corners and stuff, and they do it a lot on investigations. Like you'll be, as we talked about before, Nancy, the whole black on black, where you're in a very dark space and then you see something moving that is darker than what's the darkness already in there, and that's really you don't know. I think what's scary about it is we don't know their intentions, do we?
No, not at all. And I've actually had like one go like across my ceiling when I was laying in bed and my husband was gone and I'm laying in bed. And like Spider-Man kind of thing. Yeah.
I don't know him personally, but yeah.
Well, no, it was across. Yeah, just across. It sounds so weird when I say it out loud. It really does, but it was across the ceiling. So I just ducked underneath it and went, "Let me give you the room. Let me shut the door for you and shut off the light, and you'll have a nice night." And yeah, it's just you don't know what they're gonna do. I mean, why would it crawl across your ceiling, right?
Well, no kidding.
I mean,
no
there's
kidding.
There's got to be less creepy ways for spirits to get their message across than crawling across your ceiling, right?
Yeah, but let me ask you this: if you're a spirit and you're able to crawl across the ceiling, even though that might freak people out, who's to say you wouldn't do it, though, right?
I would do it day and night. I'm not even
exactly. I think that's exactly what it is. Now, keep in mind. So, Stacy in the comments says, as far as the ones that are peeking around the corner, she says we call them look behinds. I don't know. I never heard that before. Yeah.
I didn't know they had a name. I would hate to think they're that prevalent that they have a name.
I think her people are calling that. I am just calling them creepy as what. So that's kind of where I'm at now. Nancy, coming up this Wednesday, we have Refined Divine on. Do you think we're going to be able to do the show without anyone trying to test her?
I don't know. That's a good question. We'll find out.
We will find out, won't we?
I sincerely hope. Well, you know what? Every once in a while, you should be tested. I mean, we get tested in our jobs every day, and that's her job. So maybe she should be tested now and then.
Well, here's the thing.
Just saying,
She welcomed it
Yeah.
with open arms. I'm the one over here
I
going,
saw that she was positively gleeful. Yeah,
yeah, and she
which I love
was
about her.
she was able to put
She
people
was
where they
amazing.
needed to go after that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I had my finger on the dump button and the drop button.
Well, you needed it for that.
Oh, I bet. I bet.
Yeah, no,
Like,
absolutely.
I gotcha. I gotcha. Hey, oh, you don't need me, do you? No, she totally had that, and yeah, she was amazing. And
Yeah.
with a grain of salt too, she did it so nicely. Going, okay, what else you got, or are we done here with this? Because yeah, I hear you.
And it
It may
was
not be the message that you were wanting to hear, but it was the message that you were supposed to hear. That's my thought.
well, and she
You know?
heard exactly what she
Yep.
wanted to hear. She said, she wanted to Donna wanted to hear her something about her dad, and there was like two other things, and Deb nailed both of them, and it was really interesting to see Donna's response, because she just started laughing, and it was like, yeah, there you go. I guess I didn't need to worry. I just worry about stuff all the time, so there you go.
You know, and it was funny because I was watching it with another friend of ours, and, and she went in and she was astounded pretty much. So I don't think that she thought that somebody would have like her type of abilities. And you know what, when you do though, when you find somebody who's like that you would think that wouldn't you be like, oh my gosh, I got so much to talk to you about, because like you're on the same wavelength as me. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's like when you go home and you go, oh my gosh, you're from Cottage Grove. Wow, cool.
Totally.
Do you know so and so? You know, that kind of thing.
Totally. It's
So
just,
I would think you cannot run into that many people like that. That's all.
no, but it's a shame, because I do know, and this isn't Donna's fault or anyone's fault. It's just that is such a competitive field now, as everything, all this stuff seems to be competitive. So people get a little weird. They get a little weird, I guess.
It's too bad that they, you'd think that you go, yeah, I've got these and you've got those. Let's get together and we can do this.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my thought. I mean, sure.
Absolutely.
Seriously, share what you got.
No,
Kinda.
absolutely, 100%. Nancy, I appreciate the call. And I always appreciate your candor and you listening and everything else. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. And you as well. I appreciate your candor, because you are like, yeah. If you want to know where you stand, ask Greg.
Wow.
You know what? I honestly am too old for like anything but brass tacks, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's needed sometimes. Nancy, thank you so very much. We'll talk later.
Thank you, sir.
All righty.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night. So yeah, we're just having a nice conversation. It's Casual Friday over here, and as you can see, Adam and I are very nice people. We're not scary.
No,
Not that scary.
we're housebroken or house trained or whatever. We're litter box trained.
Exactly. I was talking in that other show about how we are the weirdos of the station, where you come in during the day and people are like dressed to like be a part of society, and we come in and we're not part of society, really, are we? I mean,
no, I always get the weird looks with the hoodie and shorts.
Right. Linda says it's hard to find question of the week. No, it's not. All you need to do is go to my Facebook page and go to the GhostBox Radio Facebook page, which I know that you go to both of them, so you got that going for you. Let's see here. Carol asked the question regarding the urban legends. What about dark or black-eyed kids? Now, on the Facebook page, Todd had left a message about that. He says, the one that scares me the most are black-eyed human beings. I don't call them children anymore, because I saw a black-eyed woman. She was about mid to late 30s, and she was walking a dog. I saw the dog's leg not moving, and I saw her eyes completely black. My father didn't see anything out of the ordinary. Well, yeah. Yes, they are real, is what he says. Yeah, very interesting. Sandy says, I do believe in the dog man. Didn't see one, but it came close. What about here's the one that I always find very interesting, Adam. Have you heard of the rake?
The rake? No, I have not.
The rake is like it's kind of like the like a pit bull, but it's mixed with something else, and it's just this nasty creature, and it is believed to be in existence because enough people had thought it into existence. And this was in the early 21st century. I got all that information from Paranormal Caught on Camera, so I'm sure that tells you how reliable it is. But it's the rake is because they had a video of a rake coming after somebody, and it is like, I don't know. I mean, that seems, I don't know how real or not real it is, but that video sure would have been brown pants time for me. Let's just put it that way. If I run into something like that. I'm
not really into running into any sort of hybrid with any kind of animal creature.
The video is that someone opens a door like in a shed or something, and the shed is like long, and they see something. You see it on the far end, and its eyes light to the light that from the night vision, and it just starts that slow like run and just starts screaming towards this person, and they turn to run.
Call me Jordan Peele. Nope.
Yeah, that's a lot of no. That's a lot of nope right there. Let's see, what else do we got here? Joshua says, love the black-eyed guy that shared that experience in his comments. Yeah, that was really cool.
That does sound really creepy.
Yeah. There was one. Well, shoot, we're out of time, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
Time to go.
I just noticed we got 20 seconds.
Right. We'll be back Monday. Thank you all for everything, for all your involvement tonight. We'll be back Monday with Terry. Everyone, have a great weekend.
The Tom Hartman Show.